Good morning. Aloha. Welcome to Live Yoga Channel. I'm Terra. This is Evan. We are coming to you live from the beautiful island of Oahu in the Manoa Valley. In our living room, inviting you to roll out your mat and do some at-home yoga with us. We meet on Mondays and Thursdays for this practice. We do our best to do it around an hour, so let's go ahead and find a comfortable cross-legged seated position. Roll the shoulders up and back. Close the eyes and begin to draw your awareness to the breath as it moves in and out of the nostrils. With your chin tilted down ever so slightly so that the back of the neck is long, allow your belly to grow soft and wide as you inhale. Growing up through the side ribs, taking that breath to your clavicles, feeling the body grow taller, and then exhale slowly through the nostrils, witnessing all of the fascia, bones and muscles just come back together. And stay with this with your eyes closed, just witnessing the expansion and contraction of your beautiful body temple. With your gaze in between your eyebrow center, please set a personal intention for your practice. Grace, self-care, relief, anything that comes first and foremost to your mind's eye. Let this be what you come back to if you start to wander throughout your practice. Let's go ahead and get started with our warm-up, starting with the skull. We'll do Kapalabhati, skull shining breath, to relieve subtle tension from in and around our beautiful, beautiful skull. So how this works, go ahead and open the eyes, is we'll do a forceful exhalation through the nose while we also draw the belly button back towards the spine. And then the inhalation is passive. It just happens on its own. Follow my cues. Ready? Inhale. Exhale. 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 See if you can get that pumping. Draw your perineum, all the muscles of your pelvic floor, lift those up as if you're preventing yourself from going to the loo. Exhale, 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 release. Inhale, half lung of air. Pause. Let's do Kumbha, breath retention. Draw the shoulders up to the ears, drop the chin to the chest. Draw that belly button back towards the spine. And again, lift that pelvic floor up. So we're holding all that energy inside of our body, all that mana, that life force. When you need the breath, simply release the hold and take in a fresh breath of air through the nostrils. Exhale slowly. Let's do this one more time. Inhale, half lung of air. Pause, drop the chin to the chest, shoulders to the ears, lift the pelvic floor, draw the belly button back to the spine. Jalandhar Mudra. When you need the breath, release the holds. Inhale gently through the nose. Exhale slowly. Beautiful. Next, we're going to move to yoga for the eyes. So keep your head and neck straight. Go ahead and look forward. The wall in front of you. We're going to move only the eyes. Inhale. Exhale. Look down, look up, look down, look up, look down, look up. Center. Another breath in. Exhale. Look far right, far left, far right, far left, far right, far left, center. Another breath in. Exhale, look down, far right, look up, far left, look down, center. Another breath in, exhale, look down, far left, look up, far right, look down, center. Great job, everybody. Now instead of stretching the eyes, we're going to focus the eyes. Extend the right arm out in front of you, shoulder height, elbow is straight, pointer fingers pointing up towards the ceiling. Go ahead and look past your fingertip and then bring your gaze to your fingertip. And as you inhale, draw the finger towards your nose and see if you can stare at that fingertip without blinking. Extend it back out in front of you. Try your best not to blink. It's okay if you do. And when the elbow is straight, look past the finger. Draw the gaze back to the fingertip and bend the elbow slowly. Bring the finger to the nose and then back out again. When the elbow is straight, look past the finger. Return the focus to the fingertip. Inhale, last one, Tratakan, strengthening the rods and the cones of the retina. Healthy, healthy eyes. Look past the finger. Go ahead and release. Let's bring our hands together and build some heat. Some prana. In Hawaii, we call it mana, life force. Here we go, yogis. Take the right palm and cup it over the right eye. Take the left palm and cup it over the left eye. Do your best to not let light in between your fingertips. Your face is soft, your breath is slow through the nostrils as you stare into the black abyss of your palm, sending healing energy to the eyes. Healthy, healthy eyes. So much screen time nowadays. Yoga for the eyes, very, very special and important. Go ahead, release. Let's interlace the hands, send them out in front of us, and then up overhead. Stretch long, reach those palms towards the ceiling. Best as can, let the chin be parallel. And then allow your breath to grow long, deep from the belly, stretch towards the ceiling. If it feels good to you to reach to one side or the other, let this practice be yours. And then soften the face, close the eyes, and allow there to be a soft constriction in the back of the throat, the epiglottis. We call this the ujjayi breath. It's like ocean-like breathing. I want you to rely on this as we continue throughout our journey today, utilizing your breath as our most potent tool to guide us in our practice. I'm going to give suggestions and modifications, and it's up to you. It's your practice, it's your body. If you feel constrained in the face, go ahead and release the hands out in front, back of the hands touch. Take one palm over the other, interlace the hands, draw them towards your chest, and then back out again to your degree. Again, so if you find that you're constrained in the face and it's hard to breathe, please go ahead and back off some so that you can breathe slowly and have a smile on the face. Go ahead and draw the hands back in towards the chest. We're going to switch sides, honoring that it may feel totally different on this side. So listen to your breath. For 3, 2, and 1. Warming up from the fingertips, the wrists, elbows, and shoulders. Beautiful. Go ahead and extend the legs out in front of you on your mat. Let's move to the toes. I'm doing yoga for the toes. I like to remove the excess flesh from my sits bones. So we're going to move only the toes here, doing toe cranks. For 1, release, 2, release, 3, release, 4, release, 5, release, 6, and hold. Go ahead and release. Cross the right foot over the left, and just like we interlace the fingers, let's interlace the toes. Let's have some fun here. One toe is fantastic, 2 toes is amazing. 3 toes are magnificent. Get to where you are today and then squeeze those toes. Waking up the nerves from the toes all the way up to the sciatica, connecting and communicating our lower extremities with our upper body. Go ahead and release. Let's switch sides. One toe, 2 toes. Don't use your hands. Squeeze and release. Beautiful. Warming up the ankles. We're going to move forward and backwards for 1 release, 2, 3, 4 release, 5, 6 and hold. Let's make circles first clockwise. 1, 2, 4, 5 and 6. Opposite. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and bend the knees, grab onto the elbows underneath of the left knee. Sit tall and then make circles with your lower leg. 3, 4, 5, 6. Opposite direction. 3, 4, 5 and 6. Let's go ahead and switch. Sit tall. First clockwise. 4, 5 and 6. Go ahead and switch. Extend it out in front of you. Warming up the quads. Let's take our right foot into the inside part of our left thigh. Take the left ankle on the outside of the hip. Go ahead and walk yourself back. Again, honoring where your body is today. This may be plenty for you to feel this nice opening in that left quad. If you can go back onto your forearms, that might feel nice. You can let your head rest back. If you have the privilege to take your spine all the way down onto the mat, then you can take your arms up overhead, maybe grab onto your elbows or your wrists. Long, slow breaths here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, bring your arms back by your sides. Press into those forearms and hands to help your body up. We'll go to the other side. Taking just as much time getting into this and honoring sensations that might feel differently as we feel, depending on what we ate last night, how much we slept, how much water we've had. Lots of variables that can change our feelings of flexibility on side to side, on each side from day to day. So we practice yoga. It's the art of living. Breathing in and listening to our body's cues. For 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and inhale. Bring your arms back down by your sides. Help your body out of the pose. We're going to come up slowly all the way to a standing position at the front of our mats. Bring your feet together, roll the shoulders up and back. Close your eyes. This is our first standing pose, and I want you to feel the earth beneath you. Feel grounded and rooted. With your mind's eye, visualize yourself fully connected to the earth below, as if you have roots growing out of your feet, connecting you to all the trees, the soil, the land. And then in your mind's eye, I want you to visualize the last most beautiful sunrise or sunset you've seen. As we move through our classical sun salutations, Surya Namaskar, paying respect to the Almighty Sun, the celestial body that provides life for all beings on planet Earth, offering our personal respects for the gifts that we receive each day to the Almighty Sun. Open the eyes, inhale, exhale, bring the hands to prayer position at the heart. Inhale, take those arms up overhead. Look up, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at the waist. Bend the knees if that feels best for you. This is our first stretch of the day. Please, no overstretching. Perhaps it feels best for you to have your hands on your shins, maybe the backs of your ankles. Just let the head hang heavy. Feel the length along the back of the legs. If you have the privilege to bring your fingertips to the earth, perhaps you can bring your palms, face them backwards so that your fingertips are facing your ankles. Long, slow breath here. For 5, 4, 3. Imagine your sits bones are drawing up towards the ceiling. 2 and 1. Bringing your hands the front of your feet, bend the knees, take the left leg back, drop the knee and the top of the foot. Inhale, the shoulders up and back. We're balancing, draw the right knee in towards the center of the body. Press down powerfully into that front right foot. Your gaze is up towards the ceiling. Take the chest up and back. The breath is slow and steady. Pressing down onto your left knee and the top of the back foot. Lean, lunge into that front right knee. For 3, 2, and 1. Release the hands back to the mat. Tuck the back left toes. Exhale, take that right leg back to meet the left as you come into your first mountain pose of the day. In the West, we call this downward facing dog. In the Himalayas, our teacher refers to this as mountain pose. So that's what we say. Go ahead and lift up onto your tippy toes. Stretch those heels towards the mat. It's okay if they don't reach the mat. Yet see if you can effort your heels both reaching towards the mat evenly. Press into both palms of your hands and see if you can press into all 4 corners of your palms evenly. Make adjustments so that your elbows, the inside parts of your elbows, are looking at one another. Your sits bones are up towards the ceiling. Your breath is slow and steady. The bottom of your exhalation, we're going to drop to our knees, chest, and chin so that our butt's lifted up off the mat. Come onto your fingertips. Keep those elbows in tight. Up, point them up towards the ceiling. Your gaze is down your nose and you're breathing slowly. Release your palms to the mat. Drop your belly to the mat. As you inhale, we're going to slide our chest through our shoulders. For this round, everybody, let's come into Sphinx Pose. So we'll bring our forearms to the mat. We lift our chest in between the shoulders. Look up towards the ceiling. The tops of the feet are flat on the mat. The butt is soft. The gaze is in between the eyebrow center at the ceiling. For 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release. Draw the hands underneath of the shoulders. Tuck the feet. Press into the palms. Lift those hips back up into your mountain pose. You can feel free to rock the head back and forth. See if you can press. Notice that one knee might want to press to the back wall more than the other. See if you can press both knees evenly back towards the wall behind you. Let's take the left foot in between the hands. Drop the right knee and the top of the right foot. We're going to inhale our shoulders up and back as we lunge into that front left leg. We're balanced on our back, right, the top of that right foot and the knee. And then we're lunging. Roll the shoulders up and back. Take that chest up towards the sky. Look up. Face is soft. The breath is long. Release the hands to the mat. Tuck the back right toes. And as you exhale, bring that right leg up to meet the left. Forward fold here. The body's starting to warm up. So perhaps you still have your hands on your shins. That's totally fine. Maybe you can bring your hands to the back of your ankles. Or maybe even your fingertips to the earth. Bring the weight of the body in towards more so to the balls of the feet so that the backs of the legs lengthen, the sits bones are up towards the ceiling. Go ahead and bend the knees, and as you inhale, draw the energy up overhead, look up, look back. Exhale, hands through prayer position at the heart center, release to the side. Take one long, slow breath, inhale. And exhale. We'll do the same thing to bring harmony on the other side, the solar side, this time moving a little more swiftly with our breath. Inhale, deeply open the eyes. Exhale, bring the hands to prayer position. Inhale, take the arms up overhead, look up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at the waist. Bend the knees, take the right leg back, top of the knee and the top of the foot to the earth. Roll the shoulders up and back, look up. Release the hands to the mat, tuck the back right toes. Exhale, the left leg back. Press the chest back towards the thighs as we come into our mountain pose. Reach those heels towards the earth. The bottom of the exhalation, drop your knees to the earth, chest and chin. This time, we'll inhale, drop the belly to the earth, slide the chest on through, coming into cobra. Take your gaze up in between the eyebrows towards the ceiling. The belly's soft, tuck the toes, press into the hands, exhale, lift. Take the chest back towards the thighs as you lift the hips, coming into mountain pose. Inhale, the right foot in between the hands, drop the top of the left foot and the knee, roll the shoulders up and back. Release the hands, tuck the back left toes. Exhale, bring the left foot up to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, the hands together, overhead, look up. Exhale through prayer position. Release the hands, close the eyes, and spend a few breaths. Let's take our introspection and notice the tingling sensation around our fingertips, our toes, the skull, all the capillaries as the body's warming up. See if you can bring your awareness to the beating of the heart. The yogis believe the heart governs the emotions of love. And so as we connect to the beating of our heart, dum, 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 we can pay respects to every cell of our being is receiving self-love as we practice here on our mat together. Self-love growing and expanding in and around our entire being. With your eyes closed and your gaze in between your eyebrow center, let's next bring our awareness to that other celestial body in the sky that impacts all life on planet Earth, the moon. We're in a crescent moon phase right now. It's a slither in the night sky. And just as we understand that the moon impacts the waters of the oceans all along planet Earth, the same thing happens inside of our beautiful bodies. as we're impacted by the tides and the phases of the moon. We'll do 2 rounds of Chandra Namaskar to tame the mind, making our mind our very best friend. We'll change the 4th and 9th postures. Inhale, deeply open the eyes. Exhale, bring the hands to prayer position. Inhale, the arms up overhead, look up, look back. Exhale, fold forward, hinge at the waist. Bend the knees, take the left leg back, drop the top of the foot and the knee. Bring the hands through prayer position, steeple at the heart. Inhale, those arms up overhead. If you prefer to have your arms parallel, that's totally fine. Yogi's choice. Lunge into that front leg. You're balancing on the back knee and the top of the back foot. Pressing down powerfully underneath your front big toe. And breath is slow and steady. Release the hands to the earth. Tuck the back left toes. Exhale, take that right leg back to meet the left. Mountain pose. Reach those heels towards the earth. Press powerfully into your palms, drawing the chest towards your thighs. Lift your sits bones. Simply visualize your sits bones up towards the ceiling. Drop the knees, chest and chin. Exhale, release the belly towards the earth. Take our hands to the mat. Inhale, cobra. Look up. Tuck the toes, press into the hands, lift the hips. Draw those hips up towards the ceiling. Take the left foot in between the hands, drop the right knee and the top of the right foot. Hands through prayer position. Inhale, overhead, lunge into that front leg. It's okay if you wobble, it's okay if you fall. This is your journey. Be playful and have a light heart. Lunge into that front thigh. Look up. Take your heart towards the ceiling. Release the hands to the mat. Tuck the back right toes. As you exhale, draw that right leg up to meet the left. Forward fold. Let the head hang heavy. Feel free to let out a nice vocal release, a nice sigh as you exhale. Bring the hands together. Inhale. Take those arms up overhead. Look up. Exhale through prayer position. Release the hands to the sides. Close the eyes. Notice sensations swirling in and around your body as we are witnessing the elements, earth, air, water, fire, transform our body. It's happening. Do the same thing on the other side. Chandra Namaskar. Inhale, deeply open the eyes. Exhale, hands to prayer position at the heart. Inhale, take the arms up overhead. Look up. Exhale, fold forward. Hinge at the waist. Bend the knees. Take the right leg back. Drop the knee and the top of the foot. Hands through prayer position. Crescent moon. Inhale. Release the hands. Tuck the back toes. Exhale, send that left leg back to meet the right. Mountain pose. At the bottom of the exhalation, drop to the knees, chest and chin. Inhale, come up through cobra. Press powerfully. Keep the butt soft and the toes soft as well. Tuck the toes. Inhale, lift the hips, press back into mountain pose. Take the right foot in between the hands, drop the knee and the top of the foot, hands through prayer position, crescent moon, lunge into that front right foot as you inhale. Release the hands, tuck the back left toes. Exhale, bring that left leg up to meet the right, forward fold. Hands together, inhale, reach up overhead. Release, exhale, through prayer position. Release the hands to the side, close the eyes. Inhale slowly, exhale long and slowly. Return the breath to normal. Through the nostrils. Bring your awareness, your introspection to the beautiful, beautiful brain inside of the skull. Sending appreciation to the almighty brain. It's about 7.5 pounds, made of fat and water. It's our brain, the entire nervous system. It allows you to hear my cues, and we get to use the intellect to move the body and open it in these ways. The visual nerves, you can see this video and interpret what we're doing. So grateful for our brain and all our entire nervous system and how we get to move throughout the world and experience life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And visualizing that space in the back of the skull where all the nerves come together and they travel down the spine, sending information, firing neurons and electricity, just communicating with our body. And it all happens without us thinking about it. So very grateful for our brain and our nervous system. Healthy, healthy nervous system. Let's go ahead and open our eyes. Great job, yogis. Let's come into our first pose of the day. We're going to come into chair position. So bring your feet together. I'll come to the side. Inhale, the arms up overhead. Drop the shoulders so that you have space. Your ears are parallel to the shoulders. Go ahead and begin to bend the knees and sit down as if you're sitting in a chair. Your weight is in your heels. And if you can, go ahead and lift your toes up off the mat, just your toes. Engage the side ribs. Draw that belly button back towards the spine. Sit down a little bit further. If you're scrunched in the face, back off some so that you can breathe fully. In the final pose, your breath is long and steady. Your gaze is in between your eyebrow center up towards the ceiling, although you want to keep your chin parallel. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lengthen, reach up. Exhale, release your hands. Interlace your hands back behind you. Let's do a very natural counter pose. Open up the heart and chest, look up. Exhale, keeping the legs straight, hinge at the waist. Draw the chest towards the thighs. If it's available for you, you can take your interlaced hands and draw them up towards the ceiling. This should feel good for your chest and shoulders. To your degree, everybody's different. Breathing here. Bring the weight into the balls of the feet so the sits bones are up towards the ceiling. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your hands, bend the knees, roll the spine up and back. Great job. Let's come into twisted chair. First, we're going to, so that we can massage the internal organs, we call it yoga for the organs. Bring our hands into prayer position. First, let's massage our beautiful stomach. So let's go ahead and bend the knees, and you're going to take the left elbow on the outside of the left knee. begin to stack the elbows. You're twisting from the hips first. So stack your shoulders, twist your head and neck, begin to look up towards the ceiling over your right shoulder. Sit down a little bit further, and you can stay here, or you can take that left hand, keep your elbow hooked on the outside of that right knee, take your palm to the earth or your fingertips, and then take your right arm up towards the sky. Open up the chest so that you're stacking your shoulders. Reach up through your fingertips. You can stay here, or if you have a bind, you can go to that. For 3, 2, and 1. We'll come out with grace and ease. Back through prayer position. Beautiful. Take a cleansing breath here before we get to the other side. Next, we'll bring our focus to the biggest internal organ, the lovely, lovely liver. So hands in prayer position, inhale. Exhale, begin to bend the knees. Take the right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Stack the elbows and the shoulders. Begin to twist from the waist. And then take your head and neck up towards the ceiling. Sit down a little bit more. You can stay here, or if you'd like to bring your fingertips to the outside of your left foot, bring your palm to the mat, take the left hand up towards the sky. Open up that chest. If you want to bend your elbow and take your hand to the outside of the right hip, can. For 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful job, yogis. Hands through prayer position, and release. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly. Bring the breath back to normal. Next, let's come into table position. So with our feet together, we'll inhale our arms up overhead. You can bring them together in steeple or parallel. Yogi's choice here. Then I want you to hinge at the waist, making a flat back, halfway so that you're at a 90-degree angle. I want your ears parallel to your biceps. Reach through those fingertips as if you're reaching towards the front wall in front of you. And then press back through your sits bones. Feel flat like a table. Your gaze is just down below your nose on the mat. Your belly button, your abs are engaged, your side ribs are stretching long. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands through prayer position, bend the knees. Let's go ahead and take our right leg back behind us. Right? Press through the heel. Keep the hips and shoulders square here. You can keep your arms here, or if you have the privilege, you can bring your hands up overhead. Reach through those fingertips. Your arms are parallel. Press back powerfully through that right heel. You're supporting your body. You're balancing on that left foot. Smile at the shake in the leg. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands to prayer position. Let's go ahead and release our fingertips down to the mat. We're going to take our left fingertips about 10 inches in front of our left toes, and then out about 6 inches. You can stay on your fingertips or bring your palm to the earth. Let's take our right hand to our right hip, and then begin to open up those hips so you're stacking them, pressing your heel away from you. Coming into half moon here. You can stay in any variation. You can begin to gaze, turn your head and neck. You can keep your right arm all along your right hip, or you can take your hand up towards the sky. Press through the heel, open up the shoulder, look up. And then like Evan's doing, you can even reach back behind you and grab on to that ankle. Have some fun here. It's okay if you wobble. And then you grab onto that foot and you kick that foot away. It's okay if you fall. Great job, everybody. We're playing with half moon here. Shake it out. Let's go to the other side. Roll the shoulders up and back. We're getting strong, opening up the body. So this time, bring the hands to prayer position. Bring that weight powerfully into your right leg. Let's send that left leg back behind us. So we're going to pendulum. So we're at this point, the hips and shoulders are square. You can keep your hands in prayer position at the chest, or you can reach them out in front of you. Reach through those fingertips. Press powerfully through your left heel. Engage the belly. Reach. You're looking down through your nose, from your nose, for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your hands to the earth. Take your right fingers about 10 inches in front of your big toe and then over about 6 to 8 inches. Begin to open up those hips. Take your left hand to your left thigh. Press through your heel. Take your left arm up towards the ceiling. And then from here you can begin to twist the head and neck and look up towards your fingertips. Half moon. You can stay here. You can also bend your leg and grab onto your ankle. And then kick that foot away from you. Have some fun with it. Give it a few tries. And then shake it out. Good job, everybody. Oh, let's do some more getting into that side rib, especially from all the sitting we do nowadays, right? Bring your feet mat distance apart. Let's take our arms up and overhead as we inhale. Take the right hand and grab the left wrist. Drop the left hip away from you. And then use the strength of that right arm and grab that left wrist. Pull, pull, pull. See if you can take that right armpit slightly more forward than the left. Your gaze is up towards the ceiling, past your left arm for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale. Back to center. We're going to switch sides. Exhale. Send that right hip away from you. Use your left hand to pull onto that right arm. Stretch the side body. And then open up. Take that left armpit slightly more forward than the right. Take your gaze past your right bicep for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale up and release. Shake it out. Let's bring our feet together about 5 inches away from one another. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Go ahead. We're going to keep the backs of the legs long. If your hands are on your shins, that's totally fine. If they're at your ankles, that's totally fine. If you can bring your palms underneath of your feet, that's what we're going for. If you can do that, you can step onto your fingers, maybe your toes reach your palms. Maybe you have the privilege to bring your entire hand underneath of your feet. Press down under the balls of your feet onto your hands. Let that chin tuck in towards your chest. Let your sits bones go up towards the ceiling. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release your hands, bend your knees. If your hands are on your shins, go ahead and keep them there. Everybody else, we're going to take our peace fingers and we're going to wrap them around our big toes. Inhale. Open up, straighten through the front arms. Open up the chest. Look up to the wall in front of you. If you can see where the floor meets the wall in front of you, perhaps you can go halfway up the wall. Take your gaze halfway up the wall. We're getting an upper back stretch. Perhaps you can even see where the wall in front of you meets the ceiling. Breathing. And then exhale, release. Bend your knees. Take your hands to the earth. Step back to mountain pose. Bend your right knee. Send your left heel towards the earth. Opposites. Bend your left knee. Take your right heel towards the earth. Inhale up to both tippy toes. And then exhale, take both heels towards the earth. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale, open the mouth and let out a nice ha. The bottom of the exhale, I want you to begin to pump the belly. Do yoga for the organs. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. With the breath out, give it a try. Go ahead and release. Let the breath be normal. Let's go ahead and lift the left leg up and back behind us. The hips are square. Press powerfully through that right palm here. Pressing through the heel. The left big toe is in alignment with the middle of the body. Lift it a little bit higher. Reach through those hips and the heel. Exhale, swing it on through, preparing for our warrior series. Take the right heel to the earth. Inhale, lift the chest away from the thigh. Our hips and shoulders are square. We're gonna lunge into that front knee. Bring the arms up overhead. Arms are parallel or steeple position. Take the right armpit slightly more forward than the left. Lunge into that front knee. The back right knee is engaged, so the right quadricep is strong. And we're supporting ourselves. We're gripping the back mat with the outside part of our right foot. Our chin is parallel to the earth and our gaze is in between our eyebrow center up towards the ceiling. In the final pose, our breath is slow and steady. For 3, 2, and 1. Inhale. Exhale, let's open up into Veerabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. I like to take my back right leg back a little bit further so that I could sink deeper into that front leg. My arms are parallel. Glance back slightly, briefly to the back right arm to make sure that my arms are in alignment. Sink further into that front thigh, looking down my fingertips to infinity. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the right hand up toward, parallel to the left. Lean into that front thigh without collapsing the belly onto that front thigh. Our hips and shoulders are square. This is Avaya Veerabhadrasana, Fearless Warrior. Smile at the shake in the leg for 3, 2, and 1. Release the left hand down to the mat, just on the inside of that left foot. Again, I like to take my toes back a little bit more so that I can sink my hips towards the earth. Take the right arm up towards the ceiling. Open up the chest and the heart. Look up. Sink those hips a little bit further. You can stay here. You can also bend that right elbow and find your bind. You can take your left hand underneath your left thigh. You can interlace your fingertips. Take your gaze up towards the ceiling for 3, 2, and 1. Release your hands to the mat. Drop the knee, heel toe, heel toe. We're going to come into balance pose, Khandanyasa. Hands into push-up position just underneath of the shoulders. Now the key to the pose here is hooking our elbows. So I'm gonna hook my left elbow into my left thigh. Now lean forward and then hook my right elbow into my right hip bone. Lean forward and then lift the left toes up off the mat. Begin to play with lifting your right toes up off the mat, balancing on the shelves that you've made with your arms. Give it a few tries. A is for attempt. When you feel complete on this side, we'll meet back into Balasana, child's pose. Taking our hips towards our heels, our forehead to the mat. Take a long, slow breath through the nostrils. Exhale slowly. Return the breath to normal. Visualizing with each breath the most healthy lungs. Visualize even in this forward fold, the lower lobes, the middle lobes, the upper lobes of the lungs. And visualize them working perfectly to take in the fresh oxygen and purify it and clarify it and send that fresh oxygen straight to our heart, to where then our heart receives this fresh oxygen, purifies the blood, and then the heart sends to every cell of our body, our beautiful, beautiful systems of the body. Healthy, healthy lungs. Thank you, body. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, we're going to meet back in mountain pose so that we can balance the solar side of the body, our right side. This time lift the right foot up off the mat, keeping the hips and the shoulders square. Press powerfully through the heel. Press powerfully through the left palm. Lift that leg a little bit higher. Feel the length all along the side body. Exhale, swing it on through. Take the left heel towards the earth, your toes that are at about 10 p.m. We're going to inhale, lift the body away from the thighs. We're coming into Veerabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Bend into that front right knee. The hips and shoulders are square. Draw the arms up overhead. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Draw the left armpit more slightly forward than the right. Bend into that front knee. Take the gaze up. Keep your chin parallel to the floor. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale. Let's open on up into Warrior 2. I like to take my back legs back a few inches. My hips and shoulders are parallel to the opposite wall. And then I can twist my head and neck and look down my fingertips, lunging further into that front right knee. The body is even, as if you have a pole going down from the center of your skull all the way down the spine, and so that you're not leaning forward or backwards too much. The body is centered. Inhale, take the left arm up to meet the right. You can be parallel or steeple, but we're keeping our belly away from that front thigh. Havaya Veerabhadrasana. Smile at the shake in the legs. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the right hand to the inside of that right foot. Open up the chest. Take the left arm up towards the sky. You can stay here. You can also wiggle your toes back a little bit more to deepen your stretch. You can take your left hand, bend the elbow, take it to your right hip, and then you can take your right hand underneath of your right thigh, find your bind, and then open up that chest to look up. Breathe slowly here. Release your hands, drop your knee, heel toe, that right foot off the mat. We'll do Kandanyasa on the other side. First, taking our hands into push-up position underneath of the shoulders. Bend the elbows. Take that right elbow and hook it into that right thigh. Bend the left elbow, hook it into that left hip bone. Lean forward, and it may be easier to lift the right foot up off the mat first. And then begin to play with lifting your left knee and then your left toes up off the mat, balancing on your triceps. Give it a few tries, and then everybody meet back into child's pose. Inhale slowly, exhale long and deeply. Bring the breath back to normal. See if you can bring your introspection to the beating heart. Our heart first began to beat at day 27 when we were in our mother's womb. It was about the size of a thumb. This heart has been beating loyally, consistently, ever since then, without us thinking about it. It's our eldest friend, our closest ally. So grateful for this beautiful, beautiful heart. Thank you, thank you. Inhale. Everybody, when you're ready, we're going to come on up onto our knees. We're going to bring the toes. Our feet are going to be about hips distance apart. Bring the toes onto the mat. We're going to bring our hands onto our low back. We'll do some gentle back openings. Press down into your sacrum. Draw the elbows towards one another. Take the chest out to look back. Breathe here. You can stay here. You can also take your right hand back and try and reach for that right heel. Perhaps your left heel. And then let your head and neck drop back. Press those hips towards the front wall. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come out of it gracefully. Take one hand to the low back, then the other. If you feel complete, you can do like Evan and go straight into your child's pose. If you'd like to do one more variation of this, you can stay here. You can also bring the tops of the feet to the mat. We're going to take our hands and press back into the thigh or into the low back. Open up. You can then reach for your heel or your ankle. Furthering your back bend, let the head and neck drop back. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take one hand to the low back, then the other, and then press those hips back towards the thighs. Draw the forehead to the mat. Take your palms to your hips, palms facing up. Long, slow inhalation. Long, slow exhalation. Return the breath to normal. Back bends help open up the heart, increase that feeling of love. When you're ready, and only when you're ready, we're going to inhale and lift that forehead away from the mat. That's everybody. We're going to press back into a squats position. Let's practice our crow Another arm balance. So from our squats, our hands are in prayer position. Lift the seat up. Bend the elbows. Take the knees on the outside of the triceps and lean forward. Press powerfully into all four corners of your palms, and then begin to play with lifting one foot off the mat, then the other. It's really about making shelves with the elbows. Give it a few tries, and from here, like Evan's showing, you can go straight into headstand if you have a headstand practice in the middle of the room. Either or, give it a few tries. We practice balance poses to bring us poise throughout our days when life can be chaotic. This is a safe place to play and practice. When you feel complete, come out. And let's everybody come to meet. We'll do Shavasana shoulder stand. So come to lay flat on your back, and then like Evan's doing, swing your legs up towards the sky, bring your elbows in, so you're resting on your triceps, and you're holding your low back. It should feel comfortable. Your fingertips are up towards the ceiling. Your feet are together. Your chin is into your chest. So we're reversing the blood flow. Our gaze is in between our big toes up towards the ceiling. Make sure you can breathe here. We practice inversions. This is really great for the thyroid, the parathyroid. When we reverse our blood flow, all of our internal organs are receiving a wash, a bath, if you will, from switching up the direction of the fluids and how they flow. It's really great for us. From here, you can take the left foot, draw it overhead towards the floor. It's okay if it doesn't reach. Inhale, draw that left foot up to meet the right. Exhale, take that right leg overhead, bring the toes towards the floor. Again, it's okay if it doesn't reach. Inhale, take the right foot up to meet the left. Exhale, take both legs overhead. Great job, yogis. Plow position, halasana. If this is easy for you, you can have the privilege to release your hands from your low back, and then like Evan's showing, interlace those hands and draw them away from the body as best as you can. If that's too much for you, you can bring your hands back to your low back. Release your hands, bring them back to the low back to support. Bend the knees, let them fall towards your ears. And then I want you to roll out of this as slowly as you can, extending your legs out onto the mat. We'll come into a mini Shavasana. Let the hands come down onto the mat about 6 inches away from your hips. Make any adjustments that feel good to you. And then roll your head from side to side and back to center. Let your breath be soft. Let's further release the stress in the head and neck from the inversions. Let's come into fish pose. So let's take our hands underneath of our butt, palms facing down. Bend the elbows and begin to lift the chest so that the top of the skull is on the mat. You can bring your heels together and let the toes flop out towards the side. In the final pose, your bottom set of teeth are past the upper set of teeth. Breathe gently. Release. Release your hands from underneath of your body. Let your hands come to the side. Let your feet fall to the side. And again, let your head and neck rock from side to side and back to center. Continuing in a cool down process, loving up our back. Let's come into bridge pose. Let's take our heels, bend the knees, bring the heels close towards the butt. Our arms are long along the mat, palm facing down. Inhale, press into those heels, lift the hips away from the mat. You can reach your fingertips towards your heels. You can also interlace your hands underneath your low back. Squeeze those knees towards one another so they're parallel. Press powerfully through your feet here. Feel free to stay here, or if you have a full Chakrasana, wheel pose, you can take your hands up overhead, above your shoulders, press into your palms, lift the chest and the butt away from the floor. Lift up onto your tippy toes. Let's everybody come back down slowly. Extend your right leg on the mat. Bend your left knee. Take your hands, interlace them underneath of your knee, and hug that knee close towards your left armpit. The toes are towards your knees, so you're pressing through your heel. Take your right hand on the outside of your left knee. We're going to help guide that left knee over the right side of the body, coming into a twist. Take the left arm directly out from your shoulder, and if it feels good, only if it feels good, look down that left fingertips. Should feel soothing as you breathe here. Inhale, we're going to come back through center, squeeze that knee in towards the chest, and then extend that leg out flat on the mat behind, out in front of you. Inhale that right knee in towards your chest. Hug, interlace just below the knees. Hug the knee in towards your right armpit. Bring the toes towards the knee. Take your left hand on the outside of your right knee. Help guide your right knee over the left side of your body. Extend your right arm directly out from your shoulder. And if it feels good, look down your right fingertips. Inhale, come back through center. Squeeze the knee in towards your chest. Send it out flat on the mat. Let's roll over onto our right side. Press into the palm. Help the body upright. We'll do some forward folds for some final cool down. Extend the legs directly out in front of you. Toes are facing up. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at the waist. Grab on where it feels good. If that's your shins or your ankles, that's totally fine. Let the chin drop towards the chest. Reach, visualize the top of the skull going towards the top of the feet. If you can grab onto your ankles or your toes, maybe you can even grab onto your hands beyond your feet. Wherever you are, soften in the face And then let your chin drop towards your chest. For 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, slowly come back up. Let's take the legs mat distance apart. We'll do one more twist. Let's take the left hand back behind us. We're going to take our right hand on the opposite side of our left leg. Come down onto our forearm, if that's available to us. And then take your gaze as far back as you can, back behind you, on the wall behind you. Your toes are facing up. Should feel good all along the chest. For 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come back to center. Let's take our left hand on the outside of our right knee. Come down onto our forearm, if that's available. And then take your hand down to the mat, if that's helpful. And then turn the head and neck so that you're looking on the wall behind you. Take your gaze as far back as you can on that wall behind you as you twist. Let's come out with ease. Let's bend the knees. We'll come to rest on our tailbone. Let's bend the knees, lift them up, coming into Navasana. Take your arms to the sides. Our gaze is in between our big toes. Engage the belly for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, Kapalabhati. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release. Everybody, let's spin 180 degrees for our most favorite yoga posture, Shavasana, corpse pose. Please stay with us here, Cyber Ohana. This pose is imperative for our integration. Let's take our legs about 18 inches apart. Let the feet flop to the side. Our arms are about 8 inches away from our hips, palms facing up. I'll lead us through an active relaxation. Inhale the right foot up off the mat, squeeze, point and flex the toes, and let it flop. Lift the left foot up off the mat, squeeze, point and flex, and flop. Inhale, squeeze the buttocks and draw the belly button down towards the spine. Squeeze, 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 and release. Inhale, draw the breath all the way up the side ribs. Bring that breath all the way up to your clavicles, all the way up to your neck, and release. Keeping the back of the head on the mat, drop the chin towards the chest. And release. Make a fist with your right hand, lift it up off the mat 2 inches. Release. Make a fist with your left hand, squeeze, lift it 2 inches up off the mat, and flop. Let your head and neck rock from side to side and back to center. Do Simba, the lion's breath. Inhale all the way up to your face. Open your mouth as you exhale. Stick out your tongue, bug out your eyes, and release. Bring the breath back to normal. Inhale, squeeze your eyes, squeeze your forehead, squeeze your ears, make a funny face, squeeze every hair on your head, and release. Bring your introspection back to the upper lip without any effort whatsoever. Simply observe the breath moving in and out of the nostrils. Next, without any effort or any change, take your internal gaze to the navel center and simply witness the belly button moving up and down, up and down with your pace of breath. And with your mind's eye, I'm going to ask you to count all the way from 10 to 1 backwards, but following. Inhale, navel up, 10. Exhale, navel down, 10. Inhale, navel up, 9. Exhale, navel up, 9. At your pace, to your degree, bring it all the way down to 1. Trying not to lose count. Release the count. Let everything relax. As yogis, we believe in the power of integration. And so we called upon our rajas, our effort, our passion to move our body throughout our practice today. Action. We now settle in to rest so that the body can receive all of the medicine from the postures and integrate the transformation that has happened within every cell of our body as we've focused our breath and our movement and made space, inviting all of the systems of the body to clarify and purify and detoxify this most perfect human organism. Thankful for our beautiful body. Allow your breath to grow big in your belly once again. Perhaps take your thumb and touch each fingertip. Wiggle your toes. Stretch your arms up overhead. Whatever feels good for you, as if you're waking up from the most beautiful cat nap. Eventually, we're all going to meet in a side-lying fetal position on our right side. You get there however it works for you. Pause here, making a pillow with one arm, perhaps touching your belly with the other. Giving yourself, extend some appreciation for the efforts to roll out your mat and practice with us. Honoring that you've been building your self-love. This adds to our self-love, our confidence, our health and vibrancy. And when people see us on the street or on the computer screens in our online meetings, they can see something is different. Thank you for taking the time to practice with us. When you're ready, and only when you're ready, take that top palm, press it into the earth. Inhale, extend your top leg, help the body come upright. We'll return to a comfortable seated position. And bringing the hands to the thighs, thumb and the first finger touching. Tilt the chin down ever so slightly so the back of the neck is long. Let your breath be slow and steady through the nose. And without judgment, simply acknowledge how your body feels in this moment. Notice how different it is from when we first began. Acknowledging that we've transformed our entire body. What an honor it is to share in this practice. And please, please, take this yoga off the mat and shine. Shine compassion and love and abundance to all those that we meet. On an inhale, take the arms out wide and up. And your hands in prayer position. Bring the hands down through the heart. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. Mahalo nui, yogis. We're so grateful for this cyber ohana. Ohana means family. Mahalo nui means thank you very much here in Hawaii. Have a beautiful day and take this joy out into the weekend with your loved ones, this holiday season. We'll be back again Monday. Evan will be leading Monday morning, 7 a.m. Be here with us. And then again on Tuesday, I'll be sharing a chair yoga half-hour work break as well as a Trust Your Gut Club. So we come together here on Live Yoga channel and talk about all things internal wellness. So thanks so much. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for spending your time with us. Aloha.
Great job, baby.